feel like this big. I think the nutrition piece is huge, and that is a huge thing to tackle. And if you have ideas for me, I'd be happy to hear any feedback you have. Because it's hard to work with someone who is getting off a drug or alcohol and then saying, okay, now we need to get off sugar or caffeine, we gotta quit smoking. Yeah, of course, I don't try to do all these things at once, but nutrition, a lot of times, will keep you in that constant state of craving. If you're gonna be addicted to sugar, you're gonna have a lot of problems. And we see this everywhere we go. At treatment centers, they will, provide like waffles for breakfast and like pasta for lunch, and then we'll have some, snack that's not healthy. I know we do the best we can with the resources we have, but just some small changes, like maybe eating breakfast, like a protein breakfast. A lot of people I work with, they don't eat at all, or they'll get up and drink a bottle of Mountain Dew, and that's their breakfast. So just starting to educate them. One of the first things I say to them is that your food equals your mood. So, and most people have some concept of that. When you eat something, when I eat Pop-Tarts, it tastes good, but I feel like crap an hour later. But it looks really good and it tastes good. But I get this crash and I just feel really crabby. When I eat, say eggs, I feel like I have more energy. I have balanced blood sugar. So, let's see. So then taking vitamins, even if it's just a plain old multivitamin, let's just start off with a vitamin, because just about everybody's vitamin deficient, and don't think vitamins are a big deal. But you need vitamins to make your neurotransmitters, to synthesize your hormones, and most of us aren't getting them in adequate amount. Exercise, yes, but not over-exercise. And people also ask me, what about addicted people getting addicted to exercise? Of course, that's possible, and I talk to people about that. But typically they don't, because they don't get the pharmacological dopamine rush that they would from a drug. They get more of a diffused sense of well-being, more like, hey, this feels good, it's got, this overall good feeling. So I usually tell them an hour or less per day, and it doesn't have to be, please, not high intensity every day, but something active. Because really, if you're looking at an evolutionary perspective, we walked the savannah for 5 to 12 miles a day. So ideally, you'd be doing a lot of low movement exercise most of the time, and then a little bit of sprinting here and there, like running after prey, and then lifting some heavy things once in a while. And that's basically it. That's how our bodies are wired to be. So sitting around being depressed is not how we're wired to be. So getting up and moving is one of the best things you can do when you're depressed. I'm not saying that's the key to fix everything, but at least gets you moving in a positive direction. Sleep and sunlight, I mentioned that. Getting the vitamin D from sunlight, like 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight is not going to be bad. We hear a lot of bad things about the sun, but the vitamin D is good for you, especially this time of year. You can go out and get in the sun. Meditation and relaxation. I used to not know much about meditation, and I've learned from clients and from other people how effective it has been in their life, and really the skill that an addict needs to learn to be able to quiet their mind, that, and a lot of them have not been able to ever do that. It's like, I hate myself, I don't even want to sit with myself for 5 minutes in the room, because I've got all these voices and things that I've done in the past. So teaching them to learn to be quiet and still, starting with like, we're going to sit and be quiet for 5 minutes. And we're not going to talk. And that's really uncomfortable for people, starting out. But when they learn to tap into that kind of way to calm themselves, it's really empowering. And I'll do some guided meditations in group. I'll kind of like introduce them to it, and then I don't know if they really do it, but it's like, hey, are you doing your morning quiet time? No, you don't have to call it meditation. That freaks people out sometimes. But getting treatment for mental disorders and correcting negative thoughts. A lot of, depression, when you're depressed and you continue to think depressing thoughts, those neurons continue to wire together, making you more depressed. And so breaking all those thought patterns can really help you feel better. So I teach a lot about learning that you're not your feelings and you're not your thoughts. You're kind of like the DBT skill. You're like a watcher of your mind. That you don't need to be so affected by everything. You don't need to be like a puppet that's strings are jerked all day long. You can choose how you want to react to things. And so being able to control, that's like that whole piece of self-control, kind of like, I'm going to choose what I want to overreact or react to. And that you aren't your feelings and you aren't your thoughts. You're going to think a lot of different things every day, millions of, thousands of thoughts, thousands of feelings. None of them are going to last forever. And if your thought is distressing, you can choose a different thought. You have the power to do that. And keep, to challenge yourself. to reach small goals, to, you know, continue improving, to continue going up the staircase, so to speak.